What up, guys? So I want to give my thoughts, a little bit more detailed thoughts on the Terrence Crawford versus Amir Khan ending. Definitely not the ending we all wanted, not the fight, not the way we wanted the fight to go. But it is what it is. At the end of the day, that's how it ended. It was a bad end to the fight. I expected a lot more. I thought we were gonna get a great, exciting fight, and we got fireworks in the first round. Crawford caught Khan slipping, and he caught him with a great left hook, and Khan went down. But it was just kind of like a kind of a shock knockdown. Khan got back up and kept on fighting. After that, there was moments where Crawford, for the most part, looked dominant. He was landing some great combinations and was, those were some heavy shots by Crawford. He was landing, even if they weren't landing, if Khan had his hands up, his guard up, the punches that Crawford was throwing were almost, moving Khan around. You can tell Crawford's got some power in his punches. But going into the middle rounds of the fight, it looked like Khan was taking the punches well. And I know that Khan has a history of being knocked out. And yes, he's, I agree, he does have a weak chin, but at the same time, he gets caught clean. He makes mistakes. And the fact that I say he has a weak chin, it's because when he, the times that he gets clocked with some solid punches, it looks like he gets wobbled. He doesn't always get knocked down. He doesn't always get knocked out, but when he does absorb some big punches, he gets wobbled. We saw it, in this fight, and when he gets caught, sometimes he doesn't react well, and he, gets wobbled by the punches. But for the most part, Khan, the knockouts that he has suffered and have emphasized, have been kind of exploited, are punches that he's taken clean to the chin, and he's, been laid out. But aside from that, Khan is a terrific, skilled, fast fighter. I've always enjoyed his style. I've always enjoyed seeing him fight. He's a great action fighter. But, coming into the middle rounds of this fight, he was doing a little bit more. I felt like he was picking up the pace. If he was losing, he was at least holding his own, and I thought that was very important. And that's why I kind of had, that desire to want to see the fight go on a little bit longer, because Khan was showing that he was holding his own, that he was also taking some, but giving some. And I felt like, had we seen the fight wear on, I give Crawford the more advantages and the higher chance of winning. But at the same time, I felt like Khan would have made it more competitive. If not, always the possibility of an upset, right? You just never know. Obviously, on paper, Crawford was favored, and rightfully so. The guy's on top of his game. He's in his prime. He's considered the number 1 or 2 pound-for-pound fighter in the world. And Khan can be seen as, being on the decline of his career. But at the same time, I didn't think he was a, shot fighter. So that's why, I felt like he could have made it a more competitive and compelling fight. However, that didn't happen. And, that low blow happened. I know that Crawford was saying it's not a low blow, but it was a low blow. I mean, I don't know what anyone else thinks, but I think from just looking at it, you don't even have to explain or try to get all scientific and say, well, the punch was here. No, it was right there on the privates of Amir Khan. So, I do feel that it is a legitimate low blow. And kind of like Teddy Atlas was saying on ESPN, I'm not in Khan's body. I don't know exactly what he was suffering, what he was feeling, what he was suffering. Maybe, he did in his heart of hearts know that, hey, man, I cannot go on anymore. Whatever the reasons are, the fight ended short and got called off. And now, it's tough to say where Khan goes from here, because even though I feel like a knockout loss would have, messed his stock up even more and damaged it even more and made it go down. The fact that he essentially quit and didn't want to go on, in a way, the fact that he stayed on he left that ring on his 2 feet. He didn't get knocked out. For me, it's a plus. But at the same time, you can say, oh, well, I mean, he quit. So it's tough to say. I'm a Khan fan. I'm also a Crawford fan. But as far as just kind of analyzing where Khan goes from here, it's hard to say because he didn't get knocked out. But then you have to question his heart. If at some point you question his chin, now at this stage of his career, where no one ever questioned Khan's heart. No one ever said Khan's ducking people. No one ever said Khan doesn't have heart or isn't a warrior. Yes, he's got a weak chin. Yeah, he gets caught sometimes. But no one ever said that Khan was a fighter with that heart. He was a fighter by every means of the word. Not until last night. When he essentially quit, now people, and myself included now, kind of have that question about his heart. Where is his heart? Because like I said, I'm not in his body. Maybe he did feel it and say, you know what, my legs are shot. I can't go on anymore because of this low blow. Maybe he felt it throughout his body and said 5 minutes was not going to be enough, and felt that maybe unfortunately it was a hard decision. But he said, you know what, I'd rather end it now than suffer another knockout loss, and which would have already instantly brought about the usual criticisms of him. Now he leaves on his 2 feet, but at the same time, he's not getting criticism about a knockout loss, but of course he's getting criticism now about his heart. So it's a very confusing position for Khan to be in as a fan, as a spectator, as a fan of the sport. It's hard to kind of gauge now where Amir Khan is right now in his career. He didn't look so good against Samuel Vargas, and it looked like he was picking things up against Crawford, but the whole low blow situation happened. So I don't know, guys, but Crawford picks up the TKO victory for what it is, and now he moves on to bigger and better things. So we'll see what's next for him. I do hope that they can somehow work out some fights with the guys from Premier Boxing Champions. I feel like any fight against any of those, of course, the big fight that everybody wants is Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence Jr. But we'll see what happens, guys. Let me know what you guys think about Crawford, Khan, and about the possibilities of where they go next in their careers. God bless you. Have a great rest of your day, guys, and I'm out.